Offices, one call, that's all studios at the Avenue. This is Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light on 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
Happy Monday! Welcome to Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. He is little big time Ben Brust.
How do I get big time back?
6 foot Ben Brust.
So this is height based. It's not even like I can't get it back through confidence, through performance. It's all forever. I'm little big time.
Big Benny Brust feels like somebody who's 6'2".
Big time Benny Brust is what you used to call me. And I used to feel good heading into shows. And then you start the week on a Monday calling me little big time. Like,
if you notice when you come in and you're not feeling great, I pump you up as big time. When you come in and you're all like
smirky and
bleep
eating grin, you want to put me down.
Then I just chop you down a little bit. Just a little bit.
Interesting. You know, it's funny how your brain works like that. Somebody's doing good, he's kind of happy. Let's beat him down a little bit.
Who said you were doing good? That's the thing, right? Like, just try to get you to the right place.
Just vibes. Like, when vibes are good, why ruin them?
If you were doing great and the vibes were great, then I wouldn't touch it.
Dang.
When the vibes are great, but you're not doing great, then all of a sudden I gotta
Well, I feel like I've never been doing great then.
Your good vibes have led us down to talking about the weather. And what was the other? Was it a Padres take?
No, it was a Rays take.
Yeah,
he was upset that people were celebrating their win streak off the bat.
That's why he has to bring you down.
He brought in a win a championship.
And then I celebrated their 13-2 start today in an office argument. So I definitely am talking out of both sides of my mouth.
Talking out of more than that. Ben Brust, Greg Scalzo, Josh DiMaggio, Alex G running the show at ESPN Madison Studios downtown off the Capitol Square. And, of course, you, the Scalzo and Brust family, 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. The Milwaukee Brewers take 3 of 4 in San Diego against the Padres. An incredible win yesterday. Woo, Molly! Starting things off, keeping the Padres scoreless, a 1-0 victory. The 4th shutout for the Brewers so far this young season, tied for the Major League lead.
Wait for Cy Young.
And Devin Williams getting it done. Bases loaded, 3-2 count, strikeout. Got it done.
Right. I mean, it was in the zone too. I was listening on the radio, and I didn't know if it was like.
It was right in the zone.
It was right in the heart of it.
He got a call he shouldn't have earlier in the inning, and then he missed a call that he should have gotten, and it evened out. And then it was a good call at the end. I don't blame anything ref-wise or ump-wise, but it was a great win for the Brewers yesterday. However, the Bucks could not take that momentum of Milwaukee sports success and turn that into what should have been a Game 1 win. They were 9.5-point favorites heading into the game. They end up losing to the Miami Heat in Game 1 of, I don't even know what the first round of the NBA playoffs is called.
No, it's 5 still.
What?
Wait.
No. What are you talking? I didn't say anything about the number. Are you not even listening? Like, how does that happen?
Because I
you
think
cut
I
me
was
off before I finished the sentence.
I confused myself, and then I just splurged it out.
I don't know what the round is called. Is it the Eastern Conference?
It's not the semis.
It's not the Eastern Conference Finals or the Eastern Conference semifinals.
These are the first round of the Eastern Conference.
Is it the divisional?
I think it's the
round 1.
First round of the Eastern Conference.
But they fall to the Heat. They are down 1-0 to the Miami Heat. Back at it, playing Wednesday night at Fiserv Forum. Of course, the Giannis injury overshadowing everything related to that loss on Sunday, yesterday, including a good shooting night for a Miami Heat team that is not known for their, shooting.
That is correct, Greg. And I just want to get this out there. If the Milwaukee Bucks lose another game to this trash buckets Heat team, that will be...
No, we're not doing this.
No.
The trash bucket thing ain't flying here, buddy.
So just because you don't like that, like, in the basketball world saying trash buckets is a thing, Doesn't mean
I don't
you can
think it
poop on
is.
it.
I think
It
I
is.
think you're just saying it. It's in the basketball world because you're trying to outcool everybody. I think that somebody like you're messing up the word, like the way you're supposed to
The
be
Heat
saying
are
this.
trash buckets.
Nobody says trash buckets. People just say trash.
No, Greg. Like why are you
800-990 ESPN, 800-990-3776. Has anybody ever heard somebody be like, Ben Brust is a trash buckets host?
You used it wrong. The Heat are trash bucket. Ben Brust is trash buckets. Like it should, like you don't like specify the it. Like Ben Brust is a trash buckets host. No, it's Ben Brust is trash buckets. Greg Scalzo is trash buckets. The Heat are
Nobody
trash buckets.
says it. It's the dumbest saying in the history of the world.
Why did you have to stop me when I was going to be on a roll?
Because you knew by saying that I was going to stop you. Because we did this earlier today where you were like, trash, they're trash, buckets. Like somebody thought, like if somebody said this around you and you're like, that's cool, and now you're trying to use it, but you're using it incorrectly. I'm fairly certain that's what's happening here.
No.
Josh, have you in your 34 years of
Josh
life ever
isn't
heard
cool.
anybody say trash buckets?
I'm a whole hell of a lot cooler than Ben, and no, I've never heard anyone say that.
Like,
Do you hoop?
I'm not a true hooper.
Nope, not a hooper. Do you hoop? Not a true hooper.
I could beat half the guys you play with in hoops, that's for sure.
Put your money where your mouth is then, big guy.
I would. I absolutely would. I mean, is that who uses it? Like these
No.
rec spec guys?
No. Like, it's just like,
Careful,
So
Greg.
what
They
do
get
we-
mad.
They get really mad. So then what are we talking about?
I'm talking about the Heat.
The way you're saying trash buckets is what Hoopers say, and your nervous energy tells me that, like, this is
What
something
are you, a
you know
professional
is lame.
body language reader now?
Look how defensive
Yeah.
you are.
When you two are
Name
together,
one Hooper that uses it.
I can't right now off the top of my head.
Like, you were just at the 125th Wisconsin basketball
Alumni get together.
alumni get-together of the weekend. Were people dropping trash buckets left and right?
No.
Is
All right,
this a
Josh, can you
TikTok
call
thing?
Zach Showalter or Josh Gosser or
I can
any
call
of Ben's
Joey.
other
Call
teammates
Joey. I'm
and
gonna-
say, no, do
No,
not
I'm
text
I'm
him.
just gonna say we're calling you from our show number.
Okay.
That's it.
I don't trust you based on
I'll
your history
show
of
you.
cheating
I'll
here.
show you.
I don't think anyone uses the words trash buckets. It's such another. You're using way more syllables than you need to by just saying they are trash.
Here you go. I'm just gonna reach over and show you what I sent, and then you can have my phone.
Calling you from our show phone number. Chef Ed says, I'm an older guy and I've never heard of trash buckets.
Exactly. You're an older guy. This is a cool young thing.
Rudy from Sheboygan says, those who drop deuces on my man Ben are trash buckets. Hashtag in Ben we brust.
I freaking love Rudy, man. It's my guy. I think Rudy is number 2 Benny Believer behind Jason and Madison.
Rudy might be. Yes, Rudy.
There's not many, so we take him when we get him. And you remember him forever when you're Benny.
So you can continue, but just use trash.
All right, the Heat are trash, and obviously the Giannis injury sucked. You don't like. I'm glad they took him out. It was definitely an injury that looked like it's gonna hurt, it's gonna linger, and it's gonna be painful. But like Tyler Hero breaking his hand, whatever, he would have been help them anyways. But they still would have been bad. All you have to do is stop one freaking player. The rest of the team stinks. Gabe Vincent, average. Max Strus stinks. Duncan Robinson, they pay like $60 million to sit on the bench.
$60 million.
Cody Martin is a tryhard. Like, Bam Adebayo's gotten worse the last 3 years. This team is absolutely no good. Even if Giannis was out the entire rest of this series, and they said, hey, we're not going to have Giannis in the first round, it would be an absolute abomination if this Bucks team lost to the Heat without Giannis. That's how bad the Heat are. Middleton, good game. Drew Holiday played bad, but guess what? He's been one of the best players for the Bucks all year. Brook Lopez since the All-Star break. Unbelievable. Bobby Portis, 6th Man of the Year conversation. We're talking about real players in a 7-game series. Without Giannis, this team should easily be able to take care of the Heat. I don't care about how good of a coach Eric Spoelstra is. There's a reason why you're already seeing articles about the Heat wanting to get another superstar before this series even started. They're no good. They made shots yesterday, but by golly, I saw a couple tweets of Fire Bud, and I'm not going to spend time on those because that's just ridiculous prisoner of the moment stuff. the Bucks are going to be just fine. And if they're not, then we have big problems because this team is all we did was brag about depth for the entire season. So now it's time to put that depth in your money where your mouth is, and that will be shown over this series.
Slam the pen down. I feel like you think that's a hot take. I feel like you're caught up in the internet monsters right now because
maybe
they're the number one seed in the NBA playoffs, and you're like, yeah, they're going to be.
Their odds move behind the Celtics to win it all.
Yeah, but they're still second to win it all.
At Potto, they're even. Minus 275 for both Celtics and
I don't blame Potto for trying to go extra, bet slips.
I'm supporting what you're saying, but I'm saying that what you're saying, I think most people are feeling and thinking. It's just don't get caught up in the vocal minority, in the Twitter folks, the Twitter bots you'll see out there that are saying, fire Bud or, this team got out coached or yada, yada, yada. Like, the Bucks will still be favored without Giannis in every single game in this series, except for maybe game 3 when they head to Miami. Like, they are a favorite for a reason still to win it all. And I don't even think they need Giannis back to win this series. I trust this team to be able to get it done. They got hit in the mouth in the first game. They got a Giannis injury, and they had a Miami team that was playing really well and making shots they couldn't have. They normally don't. And that Miami team was playing completely expectation free. Just nothing to lose basketball. You saw it out there with some of the young guys who were like, how is this? You're like, oh yeah, they're just doing whatever they want. Suppose like just go and play.
And the Bucks did sleepwalk a little bit.
They did. They didn't start out hot, and that's part of the risk that you run in terms of limping into the playoffs as far as like not charging the way that teams do oftentimes. So, yes, I don't think that's the case. By the way, Josh, after you left a minute before the show, Ben thought that all of the bots on the internet were all machine generated. So he was upset. I'm just going to be honest here. I'm going to speak very plainly. He was upset that a Twitter account called Bucks Film Room was saying that Bud should be fired. Is that correct?
No, he was saying he was sick of seeing the amount of people saying that Bud should be fired.
Okay. Well, then how does that make sense? Your argument makes even less sense.
Ben
was very upset all day that people were saying that Bud should be fired. And then I'm like, well, I mean, who are they? They're like Bucks bots. And he's like, yeah, they're not even real people. I'm like, no, but the bots are real people. I'm like, who are you talking about? He goes, Bucks Film Room's not a bot. They've got like 10,000 people. I'm like, but you don't know. What's the difference?
I mean, I've DM'd him, and it's like he's like a real person. He's a real person. Like, am I getting catfished on Twitter? But he's a real person who puts together sentences.
I don't think you know how Twitter works.
I think so. What I'm learning is bots are not like machine and AI generated. I thought I don't. Maybe I don't understand AI. Maybe I don't understand bots. I just thought it was not like a real person.
There are some bots that are strictly algorithmic, and it tweets. They
were
things.
Created by a person.
Correct.
Yeah. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then there are some people you
Ben
refer
thinks
to.
that the people we joke about as Bucks bot 237 on this talk and text line are just machines texting us.
Well, who told them to be a machine?
They're self-thinking This is why he's so afraid of artificial intelligence. I'm like, well, who do you think it is? He goes, it's just AI. I'm like, what do you?
I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, that's what I thought, and now I learned, and I'm glad I have a better understanding of the internet. And I never thought I'd be learning lessons of the internet from you.
JD from Fondy says Benny is garbage pails. Chris in O-Town says no cap on Ben. He is bussin'. Josh from Heartland says, I agree with Ben. The Heat are super mega trash buckets to the friggin' max.
Is that a troll?
They're all trolls. Chef Ed says, I totally agree, Ben. Amen, my brother.
That wasn't a troll.
Nick in Waukesha says, Coach Bud was going to get fired the year they won the championship, but they didn't. But he didn't because they won. Yeah, that's like a pretty big thing. He won a championship.
I don't know what you want me to say that. Yeah, I mean,
I will say there was people, I saw the same things on Twitter yesterday, and this is where you have to sometimes put the phone away and just talk to some human beings. I saw some people being like, Bud is never going to win a championship, and then other people responding being like, he already won one. And even I was like, I think this person was originally joking in general, but then the people who were replying were serious. Like, this team is fine. The Milwaukee Bucks are fine. It was one game when Giannis got hurt. They're going to win the series. Everything in terms of their championships hopes will depend on how healthy Giannis is coming out of this.
I love the way you look at the camera. I'm not gonna lie.
I have to.
You're like the president, like on a just like addressing the nation right there.
Well, you've got to have a different. I go like this. It's a little too Mussolini-esque, like when Dwight from the Office.
Mussolini, the Italian guy.
Correct. But you remember the Office episode where Jim showed Dwight public speaking advice, and he showed him like Mussolini videos, and then he went to the conference and he was banging on the table and he got everybody all fired up. Like when I watch video of myself, which by the way, we're now streaming, you can check it out on Twitter at Scalzo and Brust, YouTube, WisconsinOnDemand.com. I have my hands set down like this in a very aggressive manner. They teach you in public speaking class, there's a reason why presidents will go like this. Different.
And that motion is what? Like a thumbs up?
All right, we're not walking through all of this. Nick in Waukesha says he was going to get fired. That's the point that I was trying to make. He won a championship. He's proven the ability to win a championship. You can't doubt his ability to win a championship. How healthy will Giannis be?
It's a good question.
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. How worried are you about this Bucks team? And can they win this series without Giannis? 800-990-ESPN. Plus, this Ben Brust, the new Kevin Durant. Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
Was it known that you were going to make margaritas? Austin here says no.
One would assume that the Marg guy is going to make margaritas.
The Marg guy, I go back to.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah, thanks, Joshy.
But it's a thing.
But that's just in your personal life.
Your head.
No, Austin knows this.
I never would have thought of Ben as the Marg guy.
I don't care what you think.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Play Whistling Straits and other Pro Tour courses, whatever the weather is, in one of their 12 state-of-the-art simulators.
Things are moving along pretty well this afternoon. Just a little bit of a backup westbound 94 through the Stadium interchange. Southbound 4394 heading from Lincoln Avenue down past the KK River. Not too bad otherwise. Southbound 43 is pretty much standard speeds all the way across from the county line all the way down to the Marquette. Traffic is brought to you by Evans Transportation in Brookfield, where they provide customized logistics solutions to keep you and your business moving forward. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, clearing skies with a low of 31. Tomorrow, sunny and breezy, a high around 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's Gary Ellison here from Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center. Looking for that midday escape from the office? Or maybe you want to impress a potential client? Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center offers a top-tech, cutting-edge golf experience that gives you the chance to play courses like St. Andrews, Whistling Straits, and more. Even when it's not perfect golf weather outdoors, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's simulators, entertainment, and their best Bloody Marys make it feel like summer. At just $35 an hour for a bay, Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is a perfect weekday getaway. Book your bay today at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, and investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
Magoo's on the Mound is your game day headquarters. Located on 59th and Blue Mound, just minutes from the ballpark. Magoo's has food options for everyone and a vast selection of craft beers and cocktails. Enjoy some drinks and watch all the games with your buds. Or stay entertained with pool, darts, trivia, poker, or live music. Plus, Magoo's on the Mound offers plenty of free parking and shuttles to all home games for the crew. Check out their food and drink menu as well as upcoming events at magoos.biz. That's magoos.biz.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's. I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
Ezra from Port Washington says bots are trash buckets. Mark in Janesville says the made-up phrase trash buckets definitely belongs in the trash and should never be used again.
Did you get Joey on the line or what?
I called him, didn't get an answer. I sent him a personal text message. The other Badgers I have are Frank Kaminsky, which I don't know if he's likely to answer, and then I have Bo Ryan's number.
Not in the playoffs.
Bo would answer, but he would have no idea what's a
That's
phrase.
what I thought.
Eric said, LOL, trash buckets. I bet Bronson Koenig says that.
I'm not going to take... Why are we trying to take out Bronson?
I'm not. He's just saying, like, even if that were the case, Ben, you sound like the old guy trying to sound hip.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with Bronson.
Even if like 15% of the people responding said they've heard of it.
When's
right
the
now,
last time you heard somebody say trash buckets?
Like me and my buddies will use it like when we're...
What buddies?
Hang on, stay with me. When I have the two TVs going, I have COD on the left and a basketball game on the right. One of my buddies who played Division I will say
so it's just Austin Arians.
I don't even know if Austin has said it. Like, I'm trying to figure out
then
who said it
who's
to
the
me.
one that you played with?
I'm telling you, in my mind it's Austin, but I can't figure out where it originated.
What do I poll here? Do people say trash buckets?
No.
Is trash buckets
it's
a thing?
so just Google, like, even see if it's an Urban Dictionary, because I don't think it is.
Like, the big Bam Adebayo is trash buckets.
It's just trash, though. It even sounds worse when you say buckets. Like, it takes away from what it sounds like.
I'm okay. I won't use trash buckets around you. Jeez.
Carter in Middleton chimes in, says Bucks can win this series without Giannis. Heat shot 60% from the floor and from three. Not going to happen again. Bucks in 6. We had Germantown says the fact that we only lost by 13 without Giannis while the Heat played their statistical best game of the entire year absolutely means the Heat are trash freaking buckets.
Thank you. Well, good usage there.
The third, Jordan and Madison says the Bucks are under Bud are 5-7 in the first game of 7-game series. I'm not worried.
0-2 against the Nets. 0-2 against the Suns. 0-1 against the really vaunted and haunted trash buckets Miami Heat.
Vaunted Miami Heat. Yeah.
Is that a word?
No.
There is no Urban Dictionary for trash bucket other than somebody who does trashy things, usually while intoxicated. No reference to basketball.
Dan hits us with, it's not artificial intelligence Ben is afraid of. I think it's intelligence in general.
Did you have to read that one?
It was a fitting time to put it in there. I think we're all aligned, right? Calm down, Bucks fans. No reason to freak out. This Bucks team should handle business, I would say probably in 6 games.
Should be 5.
Would you try to push Giannis if he says he's healthy and ready to go? Do you play him on Wednesday?
If he says he is, Giannis came back in their championship run from like what looked like a knee that should never have been playing basketball for another year. Yeah. So
I'm with you. I don't know what an extra few days does for him
for this type of injury specifically.
Yeah, like if you knew if you could shut him down for 3 weeks,
sure,
regular season, you could. But the idea, like, if he's ready to go, I'd be more worried about putting a week or a week and a half between him playing and not playing and then coming into round 2. What's nice, though, is like you're looking at the freaking Knicks in round 2 if you're the Bucks. I mean, you basically have a 2-round run-up.
You're playing the Pistons in the first 2 rounds, essentially.
Until you have to get to a worthwhile opponent in the Eastern Conference Final.
I'm no doctor, but I've seen a fall like that all the time. It's like the lower back tailbone. It's going to hurt, but it's not going to it's not going to break. It's just going to hurt and be annoying, and it's probably tight on him right now. It's probably stiff, but again, resting isn't going to change that much of the outcome. It's still going to hurt in a week. And I think if as long as he can play and move and he's not like, if he has to stop doing what Giannis does, then yeah, sure, you sit him.
And the thing is like Giannis is like Aaron Rodgers. They're tough guys. They care. They win. They're leaders. You saw Rodgers do it this year, even when the team wasn't what they should be. He played with a brutal thumb injury and then broke some ribs and kept playing. Giannis is going to be encouraged to get back on the floor to do it with his team, especially since we're playoff bound.
Giannis is, like, again, I just think back to his knee injury, and he did have to sit out a little bit for that, and props to, again, we're talking about the trash heat real quick. Let me give some perspective. When Giannis went out with, I would say, a less deep team in 2021 when they won the NBA championship, Chris Middleton came out in the Hawks game on a closeout in Atlanta and absolutely torched him. And then Drew Holiday helped him finish the game in the fourth quarter. That was in the Eastern Conference Finals. We're talking about the first round against a trash buckets Heat team. They are going to be just fine.
Lance Peds chimes in on Twitter at Scalzo and Brust says, in the regular season, I'm a high school teacher. I have heard kids say trash buckets in regards to things they hate, like my English class. Maybe it's just like, have you been hanging out with high schoolers?
No.
Like, what's going on, dude?
I'm just hip.
Is this COD? Is this you playing with a bunch of other little high schoolers in different places?
No.
Josh,
I don't play
do you
with
get
randoms.
that sense that like he's...
So I'm doing research on Twitter here. I see almost no reference to trash bucket in any basketball sense. I do see it with people that have
Video games,
anime PvPs. So their picture, their profile pictures.
Okay.
So it seems to be a thing kids say, and they seem to be kids who are into video games and anime.
So you're bringing your gamer language in here. You got humiliated because you didn't want to bring it up, and you immediately said, "Hoop, I'm a hooper." This is what hoopers say, and it's not. It's what high schoolers playing Call of Duty tend to say.
Can you call one of my other teammates?
Send him a number.
Every single trash bucket tweet in the last 24 hours that's been sent, there's a few hundred here, literally zero in reference to basketball.
Mike from Eagle chimes in, says, fellas, if the Bucks lose game 2, will we be in panic mode, have to win 4 of 5 with 4 in Miami? That's not true, actually. You wouldn't have 4 in Miami in a 7-game series in which you have home court advantage. You'd have 4 in Milwaukee in total. So you'd have 3 in Miami with those 5 games remaining.
Fans don't even show up to Miami games anyways.
I don't know if Bucks fans in Milwaukee's in a place to be speaking on that after yesterday's performance at Fiserv Forum.
Fair enough. It was definitely we're going to walk over the Heat type crowd, but I still think even...
What can we do about that, by the way? Because that bounce back from the halftime into the third quarter in the playoffs is embarrassing. It's okay. It's okay in a February game against the San Antonio Spurs.
It's the beauty of Fiserv, and I mean that in a positive way. Like, standing out in the atrium, there's tons of,
I get it, but it's playoff basketball. You have a tight game ending in the second half. Get in your damn seats by the third quarter. Be there for the third quarter.
Aren't you, mister, you should be able to do whatever you want when you go to a game and buy your ticket?
Yes, until it gets to the playoffs and it matters. You could still do whatever you want. I could also complain to you and say, hey, be in your seat. I'm not saying that you should kick people out, but yeah, if you're there and you don't get back to your seat until there's 3 minutes left in the third quarter, which, by the way, I've gone to a Bucks game this year and not even sat in my seat, but that's not a playoff game, and it's not a close playoff game. And what I think happened was people just thought this was going to be what the Celtics did on Saturday to the Atlanta Hawks, where they were up 30 in the first half. You got to get there, though. That was a bad home environment for game 1, and I do think everyone kind of just took it for granted. Game 2, that place 10 minutes left in the third quarter. I don't want to see a mostly empty stadium on TV where you can only see the bottom half
unless
of the
they're
lower
up
level.
30.
Even then, send a message.
If they're up 30, it's
if you're
fine.
up 30, there's an exception.
Go get some more drinks.
That's fair. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. To answer your question, Mike from Eagle, if they lose game 2, if my panic level in this series is at a 2 out of 10 right now, they lose game 2, I'll be at about a 5 out of 10. I won't be fully panicked, but I'll be there.
I'll be 3.5 out of 10.
I'll start to worry if they go down 2-0.
No, 3.5 out of 10. They're so much better than this trash team.
I agree, but it's always hard.
See
Good
what
job.
I did? Thank you.
Good job.
I'm losing the buckets.
Doesn't that sound better?
It feels better.
Feels better.
I feel like I was forcing the buckets.
You were forcing. Not your first time forcing the buckets. Basketball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You actually looked hurt, like I thought I had offended you in a real way.
No, I don't like when I'm trying to force buckets.
That is true.
It's when I miss my shots.
That is true. Hey, Benny, why don't you tell us about Road America? Vroom, vroom.
Oh, baby. We had a little taste of what you're going to be able to get all spring and summer long at Road America. That's beautiful weather at the racetrack at Elkhart Lakes, Road America. The 4.1-mile road course is my favorite in the entire world. I'll say world. Largest road course in North America, right here in our backyard in Wisconsin. They'll have NASCAR, they'll have vintage races. Kids 16 and under are free. On-site camping, free parking. Just think, there's no more affordable fun in Wisconsin than Road America. I'll be at the NTT IndyCar Series race. I love Road America. Been coming there since I was a freshman in college. That's when I discovered my love for racing. RoadAmerica.com. Road America, America's national park. Speed.
Greg, I have received dispatch from Zach Showalter. He's unable to join the show, but I did get him the question. Is trash bucket a thing basketball players say, like the Heat are trash buckets? He responds, Zach Showalter, LOL, I've never heard that. I would say he's trash or he's a bucket.
There we are. Talk about an all-time backfire.
What happened?
Talk about an all-time backfire right there, folks. What the hell, Zach?
Sadler in Madison says Benny's last second of the game half-court shot miss at Easter Seals is trash buckets.
Whoa, Sadler! I hit the game winner before that, and I was just messing around trying to shoot a half-quarter as time was expiring.
Cool.
For the fans. It's messed up.
You hit the game winner?
I did.
3?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you do?
It was fun because...
Take us through. Just a quick take us through the play.
Came
and the
off
celebration.
ball screen. Sharif Chambliss, assistant coach for the Badgers, got hit by the ball screen, didn't fight through, and knocked the 3 down. I sent it to him because he was talking a bunch of crap, and I said, that's going to be on film, and made a joke about how we would do film in basketball.
Did you nail the joke?
I did, yes. Joe Krabbenhoff really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Thanks.
I mentioned before I think DeAndre Hopkins might be heading to New York based off a recent social media video. He didn't seem that high on heading to the Jets. Is Aaron Rodgers as highly regarded as he once was? We'll hit that in 1 or 0. That's coming up next. Scalzo and Brust presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
Wait, I don't want this to turn on to me completely because Greg did get scammed by the internet, but I did scam Josh DiMaggio today.
Yeah, I mean...
You scam everybody every day. That's why you are unscammable, because you are constantly the scammer. I am the scammed.
I know where to look. If there's a scam, I'll know. And Greg, you believe in people too much, I guess.
Subscribe and listen to full show podcasts available free on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.
We have some delays right now on 4394 southbound. Looks like we got a broken down vehicle on the southbound side just south of Beecher Street. It's off on the left shoulder, so it's kind of in a weird spot, and that's where we're seeing some delays through there. So backups coming down from the Marquette interchange to that point just south of Beecher. Westbound 94 slowing down a bit from about 27th Street through the Stadium interchange, and those are our 2 heavy spots for the afternoon so far. Traffic is brought to you by the Milwaukee Bucks. Keep up with all the Bucks postseason action at bucks.com/playoffs. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, clearing skies with a low of 31. Tomorrow, sunny and breezy, a high of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazagon, 94.5 ESPN.
This Bucks team is something special. There's unbelievable, once-in-a-lifetime freakish talent like you've never seen before. The blocks, the dunks, the next-level energy, and a hungry core that's running the court, dropping shots, and posting stat after stat after stat. All this action will have you on your feet cheering Fear the Deer. The playoffs presented by BMO are here. Get your single-game tickets now at bucks.com/playoffs.
Kessler's is America's largest employee-owned diamond store.
It's the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
As shoppers, we want better prices and more choices.
That's why we give you better prices and more choices.
We don't try to choose for you. We let you choose.
You can choose a diamond from a diamond mine.
A diamond as old as the earth itself.
You can choose a created diamond from a plasma chamber.
A diamond as new and fresh and sparkling as springtime.
And now you can choose a flickering firelight diamond.
Flickering firelight diamonds sparkle with a rich and regal golden glow.
At Kessler's, you choose from 3 different kinds of diamonds.
3 different kinds of diamonds.
Earth diamonds from diamond mines.
Created diamonds from plasma chambers.
And flickering firelight diamonds with a rich, regal golden glow.
We like to have choices, so we give you choices.
Kessler's is the diamond store where the owners think like you do.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
The NBA playoffs are finally here.
Drives in on Giannis, puts the shot up, rejected by Giannis on the second jump.
And the quest for a championship starts on Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia.
He's been their best three-point shooter so far. He's just found his niche.
Every series right here. And it starts in round 1 when the Bucks try to take down the Miami Heat.
Punishing dunk from the Greek Freak. Take that.
You can listen live throughout the playoffs right here on 94.5 ESPN.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at Boucher.com.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
And by the time she wakes, I'll be halfway to my mama's home. It just dawned on me life is as fleeting as a passing dawn.
Scalzo and Brust presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. Tough day yesterday for the Bucks. They dropped Game 1 to the Miami Heat in Round 1 of the NBA playoffs. Back at it Wednesday night, Fiserv Forum. Wade Miley with a gem yesterday.
Wade Miley!
As the Brewers continue to ascend in Major League Baseball. They're in Seattle tonight, 8:40 first pitch after taking 3 of 4 in San Diego against the vaunted Padres. Corbin Burns on the hill for the Brewers. Joshy, let's get right into some 1 or 0.
Can I jump in real quick? So you mentioned the Brewers, and I screened Wade Miley. I ordered a Wade Miley jersey on the internet. I'm looking at the invoice here. It was $69.99 for the jersey. There was no tax or anything. You know what I mean? Like, it was just $69.99. Is that normal? Because I just, like, that's what I ended up paying. Free shipping. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm starting to get nervous that I got duped. I'll follow up with more details, but I don't like the way the invoice looks.
Are you a 1 or a 0?
Thank you for that interruption.
That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you a yes or a no?
There's no such thing as a gray area. Life is binary. It's just a 1 or a 0.
What, Greg?
What?
What do you mean, what? I ordered a Wade Miley jersey for $69.99, and the fact that
you presented the most random, minuscule detail with no thesis or hypothesis or reason as to why you would mention it. You just gave us the price and the fact there was no tag. And you have a larger point and a larger thing to be made out of all of this. And instead of you actually taking time to present a case or to do any sort of organization of your thoughts, you just started with the most minuscule random detail of all of it.
I thought it was the most important detail.
How?
What is the most important detail of that whole thing?
Do you want to do this now? We're doing an entire another segment.
Let's cue down the 1 or 0 music then. I'd like to... how should I have presented it?
You shouldn't have right here.
Okay.
What you did was entirely the wrong thing to do. We literally were coached today to be more prepared, to think about things through, and if we want to launch an investigation into what's going on, we should have our ducks in a row. You went to a place called brewersapparelstore.com instead of the brewers.com and going through MLB store. You go to the About Us page. We start reading the things that look sketchy. The fact that you got it through PayPal where you were paying somebody's random account directly instead of going through his credit card deal. There was 4 other things that we discovered all in that moment that made it way more sketchy than you paying $69.99 and not seeing an itemized tax line on there. And instead, you went for it without having anything prepared or ready to go. You lobbed just a pile of crap into the middle of the show.
Turd grenade.
And then you just backed away from the mic and we're like, all right, you guys do something with this.
I think we should play 1 or 0.
We can now. We're late on 1 or 0 because we spent the last 4 minutes talking about something that we weren't ready to talk about. Also, this thing might just show up on Thursday or whenever it's supposed to anyway, which would make the entire thing moot.
Yeah, and then the turd grenade was not worth it at all.
Because now all of a sudden you just don't know how the internet works, and ultimately, yeah.
I'm going to be honest. This website is fake as hell. You might get a jersey, but you're not getting an authentic jersey.
I agree.
I don't care if it's authentic or not. I just want a jersey. You know what I mean? How do you know it's fake as hell, though?
I mean, Ben, this is clearly a WordPress website that was put together very rudimentarily. You think an MLB team is going to invest in something?
Can I give you another red flag? Because this is what I was supposed to be prepared for. You know how when you have an address. It didn't populate the address. It didn't make the N, capital N, and give the zip code with a dash and the other numbers. It felt very, very, very wrong.
Their only contact us is a form to be sent in. We could have had a whole bunch of these at our disposal to look at.
That are supposed to be at the bottom of the site for their Facebook, Twitter, etc. Those all are dead end links and go nowhere. There's a lot of things here that are
service at VIP cust CUST support.com. That feels like the most fake email I've ever heard in my entire life.
Is this how you thought it was going to go?
Now
all of us are on our phones trying to figure out if this is real or not, as opposed to having this vetted out and ready to go.
Well, should I read the website in which I went to so others can join in the fun that we're having? Because I know you and Josh are having so much fun right now and want to kill me.
Just go!
Wade Miley jersey.
Okay, so here's the biggest issue. There is a term at the bottom of this website. You can a terms and condition of use. It is what they did is they found a terms of condition, and you're supposed to fill in. So it says, "Welcome to our website." In parentheses, the website. The website is owned and operated by Apparel Inc. So they took a generalized terms of use and didn't fill it out all properly. So that's all fake.
Yeah, I don't think I'm getting this thing. I don't think I'm getting this thing. It is brewersapparelshop.com. Brewersapparelshop.com. I can't spell. Is apparel APPAREL? Just making sure there's no spelling errors in the website.
Your path you wanted to take us down is this spell right. That was what you felt was a good move?
800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. Somehow the one thing that could or not the one thing, but something that could make this show better. We welcome Ron and the Key into Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light. Ron, what do we got?
So, Greg, I hate to do this to you, but this is kind of your fault. You literally have a promo for the show where it's you replying to me that Ben doing stupid stuff like this makes the show good. I believe you called him like a dumb golden retriever or something.
Yeah.
It's literally one of the sounders for the show.
I asked for this. I've signed up for this. No doubt about it. But like, of all the times, we could have spent the entire break over 3-4 minutes
preparing,
just looking at those things and like compiling them. So we could have joked. Joshy could have had screenshots that he could have sent out to people. We could have asked fans if they thought that it was fake or not fake. We could have had ourselves fill out the form email to be reaching out to these people to figure out if we can contact them to figure out if this is real or not. Because they might send you something. This could just be something over. Like I've ordered us fake jerseys in the past from China, and they come over and they're much cheaper and probably not the most legal things in the world, but you're buying them on the internet, and so you know that they're not authentic. They're replicas, and instead, he just jumped right into it, Ron. So maybe you're right. This is on me. Pat on the back to me. This is my fault.
The good news is, based on the sizes that you typically get when you order these things in the internet, Greg, it's going to fit you. It isn't going to fit Ben.
I don't know. Ben's much shorter than we all thought he was, Ron.
That's true. That's true. Well played.
I wouldn't be too surprised.
He likes to thank himself for the call. You can give him that space next time.
Ben looks scared of me now.
I'm frightened.
Why are you frightened?
Because I threw.
Did I overreact, Joshy?
No, you reacted properly.
It's just. We
had a conversation no less than 2 hours ago on how to do this radio show an appropriate way.
2 hours ago.
Applying feedback.
There would have been much less us going, and looking at the website on the radio.
And we had a very clear direction with 1 or 0. We knew where we were going to start the whole deal. And then it's, hey, can I interrupt here for a second?
And then read the least important thing of the entire investigation. I didn't get charged tax.
You did not get charged tax. It's interesting. Let's give a shout out to Cedar Ridge Whiskey. It seems like a fitting time for us to point to.
Oh gosh, you guys feel that already?
The original 86 bourbon from Cedar Ridge, the best-selling bourbon in Iowa for the 3rd year in a row, now making a home in Wisconsin. Of course, the Scalzo and Brust private barrel bourbon and rye whiskeys available at Discount Liquor in Waukesha and Milwaukee, Steve's Liquor and Buck and Honey's in Madison. They're delicious. Pop them by. We've worked hard, gone down to Swisher, Iowa, put our heads together, got the taste for it, and boom, came up with the best whiskey and bourbon we could find for you, the Scalzo and Brust family. I also have to tell you about the quintessential, one of the highest awarded American single malts of 2022, Best American Single Malt of the Year by the John Barleycorn Awards. Each batch expertly crafted and blended, aged in non-climate controlled rick houses. So what that means is with those temperature swings, and believe me, over the last weekend, we all know what that has done. That gives it that unique flavor profile that can't be achieved in other climates. Check out CedarRidgeDistillery.com to learn more. But the best advice I can give you is anywhere you see Cedar Ridge, pick some up. Benny, where are we going next?
1 or 0, baby. Let's do it.
Now we're going to hold 1 or 0 off. Let's jump into some. Ben Brust is the new Kevin Durant. We'll hit that next. It's Scalzo and Brust presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
Have the hall monitor back on air again.
Right,
did he invite himself back on? All right. Are we going to your wedding or what?
I'll have you guys know I was the master of ceremonies for my 8th grade graduation from Lake Canoe Middle
Hang
School.
up on him, please.
Thank you for the call.
Cool.
Subscribe and listen to full show podcasts available free on Apple, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's, flavor is our family's business.
Woo! I am thirsty today. Definitely gonna need a cold one. There's the one. A staple of Ben's Beer Fridge is the Oh-So Never Forgotten series. My guy Mark Butera has some details on one brew with a special meaning.
The beer is the Never Forgotten Lager beer. It's our summer seasonal beer. It's a real easy drinking light lager beer too, so Grandpa can get behind it, everybody can get behind it. In our area, the Never Forgotten Honor Flight is in the central Wisconsin area, so we give $2 for every case, and we give $15 for every half barrel that's sold out in the market. This year, we've kind of expanded on that, so if the beer sells in a different Honor Flight area, well, the proceeds go to that Honor Flight. So we're actually getting all 6 Wisconsin Honor Flights involved in this thing, so which is pretty cool.
Thanks to Mark from Oh-So for joining Ben's Beer Fridge, and remember, get your Never Forgotten before it's gone. And also remember, the fridge is always stocked.
Homer, Tony, living in perfect harmony. Yeah, right.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good a quarterback has Aaron Rodgers been? 9?
Yeah.
Now, how good will Jordan Love be?
5. They'll be talking about him like they talk about all 5 quarterbacks. He's just the game manager.
5?
He's not making anybody better. He's basically in there not to lose the game.
Listen to Homer and Tony weekdays from 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN and wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of Right Choice Tax Resolution. I just finished writing a book about my experiences dealing with the IRS. It is already a bestseller. The IRS is the most ruthless collection agency in the world. They can seize your bank accounts, garnish your wages, and even take your house. The state can deny your professional license as a teacher, nurse, or other occupation. Do you want your employer to know about your problems? My book tells you what you can do so you don't have to worry about them ever again. Don't bury your head in the sand and hope the problem will go away. It will only get worse unless you step up and do something. We can help. We help reduce or eliminate penalties, negotiate payment plans, and represent you in tax audits. Make the right choice and go to rightchoicetax.us to book a call or meeting right now. We know you want to take the first step in getting the IRS off your back so you can live again. That's rightchoicetax.us.
Enjoy a world of street food fare in the largest tequila collection in town at Blue Bat Kitchen and Tequileria. Blue Bat is a destination for some of Milwaukee's best tacos, shareable appetizers, and margaritas in a fun environment right on the river in the historic 3rd Ward, serving up global flavors and good times 7 days a week. Blue Bat Kitchen will also turn your next party into a full-blown fiesta with an off-site catering taco bar. Visit Blue Bat Kitchen on Water Street or check out bluebatkitchen.com.
The Club at Lac La Belle is the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin, with a rich history you will feel once you arrive. Experience a round at the Club at Lac La Belle. The redesigned course is open to the public 7 days a week. Schedule your tee time today at clubatlaclabelle.com. This is a golf destination that you will want to play over and over again, and enjoy fine dining and event space after your round. An historic past meets a vibrant future. Go to clubatlaclabelle.com to start your journey.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
I'm almost all grown up like we said we'd be. I love you till you hate me. And I'm back at 17.
Mark in Janesville chimes in. 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776 says the website is as fake as Trash Buckets is. A couple of show references from today's show. As Ben Brust ruined the last segment by just vomiting all over the place about how he, we believe, may have been duped by the internet, something that's happened to me before, and he may have purchased a fake, or purchased a Wade Miley jersey from a fake website. He also tried to pretend that trash buckets was a popular saying amongst the Hooper community. Nobody is vouching for it, including his former teammates who said they've never heard of that before. The only people who have said they've heard of trash buckets is a high school teacher that says his high schoolers use it, and Josh found on the internet that it's popular in the gaming community, of which Ben Brust is very much a part of.
Do you want to summarize what Zach Showalter had said?
800-990-3776, the number to get into the show. I want to bring something else up with you that I heard in the office today, and I just, as I normally do, I'm a very open mind, have a very unbiased take on things until I learn all of the facts. So my understanding is that the Good Karma Brands team here is doing another pickleball league. The first pickleball league was dissolved, apparently. You never won a chip? No championship?
Nope, never won it.
The league just fell apart, dissipated. It wasn't strong enough to survive.
It was like the ABA when it folded.
Okay. Did they ever fold mid-season, though?
I don't know.
Okay.
Did the XFL or the AFFL?
I think the XFL might have. I don't know if
what
there's
was the
an
one
XFL
last
champion
year or 2 years ago that we tried to the American Football Alliance?
Alliance of American
I
Football,
think
the
that
AAFL.
one mid-season.
So there's a new pickleball league being formed, a competitive pickleball league being formed in the Milwaukee office. And the way they were going to do it is to rank every player from 1 through 16 and then pair like 1 and 16 and 2 and 15 and to try to make things as even as possible across the league. And Vince Vitrano, who hosts mornings on 620 WTMJ, was ranked as the number 1 player. And apparently as they were going through the forming of the teams, Ben wouldn't play with anybody other than Vitrano, even though he was, I believe, ranked 5th or 6th.
Don't know. Don't care.
You were ranked towards the top. And a lot of people are claiming that, like, you're the Kevin Durant, where in the last league you were with the number 1 player in Maggie Shandrick, and now this year you're trying to be with the number 1 player in Vince Vitrano. Are you not willing to, like, win as the best player on your team? Are you not willing to win on your own? I was shocked by this. I don't believe it, for the record. I fought teammates on him. Like, Ben's a competitor. He's somebody that would say, give me anybody and I'll win with them. He's somebody that would never be like force himself to be with the best player there simply
You're doing
to try
my
to win.
lying voice right now, and the whole entire
No,
listening
I'm
audience
not. I'm on Team Ben here. There's no way that this is true.
You didn't
right?
go from me vomiting in the last segment to like becoming Team Ben all of a sudden. I know how this works.
Always Team Ben.
Fair and impartial.
Look, all I know is that Brustrano, and that's what we call ourselves, Ben Brust and Vince Vitrano, Brustrano, has never lost a pickleball match together. And so we thought it would be fun to play with each other, and I think a lot of people who've played us think they can beat us and have come close to beating us. And so they believe in themselves. So all this crap you're hearing...
I've heard it from 5 different teammates today about how much BS it is that you're forcing your way onto Vitrano's team. And they said Vitrano's team. I'm like, I don't think Brust is an alpha. And now all of a sudden
it's definitely Vitrano's team.
Okay. Look, what is happening?
What do you mean, what is happening?
I was wrong about you.
Don't do this.
I'm the foremost Brust guy, and I was completely wrong.
Little big time Benny now, right? Just the beta to the team of Vince Vitrano and Ben Brust.
I mean, how do we answer the allegations of Ben Brust refusing to play with anyone else?
There's no refusing. I like to play with Vince. We have good chemistry.
So if they said, "Hey, you're on another team," would you throw a stink? Have you already?
I wouldn't throw a stink, but I would throw
Have
something.
you already thrown a stink?
Was there a stink thrown?
There wasn't a stink thrown, but I think there might have been a sniffling of a stink being thrown. Is
this a I need to get my way Brust moment right now?
Like I just don't want to I don't want to be paired with someone I don't enjoy playing with. If I'm gonna be like coaching or like if someone's like I don't know
coaching.
Like if I'm gonna be with somebody who's not like always doing the right, I want to be with someone who knows how to play.
But don't you want it to be fair? Like, all right, so real quick, Matt. You clearly stacked the deck in the last league. You paired yourself up with the number 1 person.
That was smart, no matter what anyone says.
Then you play in 2 basketball leagues where you're clearly the best player.
Don't use the
basketball
examples.
league and a basketball tournament where you're dropping 38-point triple doubles in the championship.
Not like that.
You were the MVP in both of them.
Holy Cross was really tough.
You were by far the best player in both leagues.
Why all of a sudden now do you think those are accomplishments? You used these against me no less than 2 weeks ago.
I'm not saying they are. My point is that for the last 3 athletic endeavors, you put yourself in a position where you're the heavy. You're not even competing.
Win at all costs.
He plays sports on easy mode. He goes to rookie mode.
You definitely do, don't you?
Win at all costs.
So, like, is it even fun?
Oh, winning's fun. Watching everyone else complain and say, "Oh, how are they on a team?" Get better. Get better. Practice.
Well, why don't you get better and go
Guess
play
who
with
hasn't played
somebody
pickleball in 2 months? Me. Guess who's played way more? Everyone in that league. And guess who's still going to kick their ass? Me.
Because you're playing with the best player. You refuse to play
We have good chemistry.
Everyone has great chemistry with the best player.
Not necessarily true.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
You're going and you're playing. You are refusing to go out and win on your own. And to me, that's not the Ben Brust competitor winner that I know. And I'm just saying, like, it's great. You guys are going to win it all. It's awesome for you that you know that going into the league. I just don't know how it's enjoyable for you to go through and just start kicking ass and being like, yeah, this is a lot of fun
All
here.
right, I'm going to launch my own investigation on this investigation.
There is no investigation here.
These are just reports.
Well, then I'm launching an investigation on the reports and going to, I don't even know who the commissioner is, but I'm going to go to the commissioner and figure out how they want to do things, and I will abide by the rules. I'll kick some ass and shove it in everyone's faces.
Was there or was there not a 1 through 16 ranking?
I don't know what the rankings were. I had heard murmurs of that potentially being true.
And when you threatened the stink, how did you do that?
I don't want to play with, because if I was going to be towards the top, I was going to play someone lesser. I wanted to play with, I didn't want to play someone lesser.
But that's how it's fair for everybody. You're ruining everyone's experience, just like you did in the last league, where the league literally dissolved because everyone's like, yeah, it's BS that Brust is with Maggie because Maggie's so good.
Or that if she's so good, what does it matter if I'm not that good?
But you are good. No one's saying you're not good here. Our point is that you're making the league not fun for everyone else simply so you can stack it so that you can't lose the league.
You're ruining everyone's fun.
You want to be with the other best player. Like, can we cut the crap? You're the other best player in the league. I'll say it. You're the second best player in this league by all accounts.
I shouldn't be with Vetrano.
And everyone is saying the 2 best players in the league are now there, and everyone else has tried to make it where it's like the third
That's
best
the thing,
players with the
I don't want to be with number 15. I'll say it. I don't want to be with whoever number 15 is. I don't know who number 15 is. I don't want to be with number 15.
But don't you understand that that's how it's fun and competitive? Like, it's more fun in a league if you have a chance to lose or a chance to win and not make it where there's no chance you're ever going to lose. Like, you would go to those pickleball matches.
You're Mr. Participation Trophy now.
I'm not. I'm the opposite. You're the I just want to guarantee a win guy. I'm saying, wouldn't it be great if you took that 14th or 15th best player and won the whole damn thing with them? That's pride, baby. That's something to hang up in your freaking rafters as opposed to playing against those bums in the closed gym league. That's something to be proud of.
Watch your damn mouth about CGL.
Why? They've all been crying about it anyway. I'll keep doubling down. Like, what are we doing here? That's my point.
All right.
I feel bad because Vetrano would be heartbroken, and I know he loves playing with you.
We love playing with each other.
But you guys can still do that on an exhibition level, all-star games, all that stuff. But when it comes down to, like, a league with 16 people, you're going to make it unfair for everybody?
Did they put you up to this?
They didn't put me. I legitimately got into an argument because I was like, there's no way Brust would actually do that. He's way more of a competitor than to stack the league that way. They're like, no, he's like the second best player.
What am I known as on this show? A schemer. You think I'm not scheming, trying to stack the deck? Of course I'm trying to stack the deck.
But you're also known as a competitor, Benny.
You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
We found out about that last week on Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, didn't we, Joshy? 800-990-3776, 800-990-ESPN. Back in 2 minutes. Aaron Rodgers missing out on $50,000, not showing up to day one of the offseason program in Lambeau Field. But guess what? Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, and Jordan Love all are. We'll hit it next. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
Some slowdowns now on westbound 94 from about 20th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. We've also got some delays along southbound 43 from about North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Doesn't really let up till you get past a pair of disabled vehicles just past Beecher, so watch out for that. Give yourself that extra time. And then another problem spot on westbound 94 west of Calhoun, disabled vehicle off on the right side. That's got things backed up all the way back past Moreland. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Flurry or sprinkle early, becoming partly cloudy and windy, a low of 32. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 53. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's Jeff Levering for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Up to bat is Pella's award-winning Easy Slide innovation. Look at that effortless horizontal window slide, letting in lots of light. And that roll, it's a double play. Like magic, the screen disappears when the window is closed. On deck is Pella's Reserve Series patio door, featuring the best lifetime warranty in the industry. Just look at that slide. It's a perfect fit. Order by April 30th and get 0% for 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply.
Kevin Murat here from Mentality Men's Health. We hear stories every day in our clinics that what used to work for guys doesn't anymore. Increase cardio, cut out certain food, nothing stops the changes in their bodies, especially the weight. The fact is, years of decreasing testosterone is packed on the belly fat that won't go away. We've introduced a medication, semaglutide, that helps drop 15% of the body weight on average while preserving testosterone. Join the over 20,000 Mentality clients and jumpstart your results. In Milwaukee, go to lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust. For your sports talk fix every day from 4 to 6, it's Scalzo and Brust.
Live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue. This is Scalzo and Brust. Presented by Bud Light. On 94.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
It's a party, baby. Woo! It's a party, baby.
Scalzo and Brust presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. Ben Brust stacking the deck on the company pickleball league once again. He did it last time. They ruined the league. You guys lost, didn't even come close to losing a match during the last pickleball league.
I don't even think we got to, it was best of the 3 games. We won 2-0 every time.
That was the last time you paired yourself up with the number 1 player in the league. Now, people didn't know at the time it was go out and find your own partner. This league is being set up, and Ben Brust threw a hissy fit trying to make sure he's with the number 1 player in the league, despite the fact that he's the number 2 player in the league, when everyone was trying to create equal teams so there wasn't a dominant team throughout.
I have an anonymous source reaching out to me saying that Ben and Vetrano are not the only 2 who wanted to be pairs. I asked, did Ben and Vetrano poison the well because they made such a good team? And that person refused to answer the question.
I mean, the answer is yes.
Meaning that, yeah, it was, well, if they're together, then I'm not going to play with the 15th ranked person if I'm the 3rd best.
So now you're creating a league where you might have 2 to 3 teams that are even relevant and 5 or 6 teams that are completely irrelevant, ruining really the spirit of what you would want to be. Like
you already let me know I ruined the league in the last second. You know what I mean? I double ruined it again.
Is the idea of fun, just fun part of we're just hanging out, building camaraderie amongst these people?
Can I answer as Ben?
Yeah.
So Ben doesn't even have fun going to play pickleball when he knows he's going to win, but the hatred of losing is that much greater than him having fun winning. Is probably what I would say.
Probably close to my intermental state.
Because, like, when he would go and get ready to play, he'd be like, yeah, I have pickleball. I'm like, is it going to be close? No, we're going to wipe the floor with them. Like, you weren't, like, excited to go and dominate. You weren't the kid in gym class hitting people with dodgeballs, being like, I'm the greatest. But, like, you couldn't allow yourself even the possibility to potentially lose.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was not an option.
Yes. Josh from Heartland says, I'm normally Team Benny, but stacking the deck in a company pickleball league, that's trash faults.
Is he now taking my trash
I'm sorry,
buckets?
I think he meant to say trash buckets.
No, I think earlier he...
Oh, I get it. It's a fault. Like pickleball. 800-990-ESPN. Let's go to David in Grafton. David, welcome to Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. What do you got?
Hey, guys. Love the pickleball talk. So Ben is wrong, which has been clearly laid out, and it's a work league, and you should suck it up. But I play a lot of pickleball, and specifically in pickleball doubles, it's very easy to aim. All right, and so what happens in any match is you identify the weaker player, and then 90% of shots are hit to the weaker player. And that's strategy. You know, that's how you play. And so in this setting, Ben would, if it was even, Ben would probably just end up standing there doing nothing for 90% of the game, which would be zero fun. So on that part, I do side with Ben.
Yeah, I mean, Ben is famous in the last league for targeting the weakest opponent on the other side, especially novices who are just playing pickleball for the first time.
Just hammer it home at him.
So I guess that's part of it. But again, I think if you knew you were going to win it all with a lesser opponent and you could get more glory for it, you would still take that and be bored 90% of the time.
Because I want to go out there and get my steps. I got the Apple Watch. I want to play pickleball. I want to get the cows. I'm not just going to stand there and with my finger up my butt.
What about helping that other person get better?
I'm not a babysitter. I'm not a coach. It's not what I'm here to do.
Yeah, I don't need you to be. I just need you to have decency.
Yeah, can't have that either.
800-990-3776. Jake from Milwaukee say winners win.
Thank you.
Ben, go.
Yeah.
Let's go to
Get better.
Packer Steve in Milwaukee. Packer Steve, welcome to Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light. What do you got?
Packer Steve definitely can't play pickleball.
How you doing, gentlemen? I'm going to tell you one thing. I've met Mr. Tosher several times. I've never played the game of pickleball before in my life, but I think Tosh, I could kick your butt, Ben.
Thanks, Packer Steve.
Thank you for the
I
call.
appreciate the call. And, yeah, again, the same theory applies here. I would not hit the ball anywhere near Tausch. I'd come right at you, Packer Steve, and beat you 2-0.
Teddy from Watertown says play a real sport like tennis.
Love tennis.
As Mark in Janesville says, I'll be Ben's Huckleberry for pickleball. How is this game played even?
I don't even know what Huckleberry is.
Ezra from Port Washington says, Ben would be lying if he's never thought about posing as a high school basketball player in another state that you read about. Shaking my head. Weak.
I don't know what you want me to say to that.
Have you thought about it?
I mean, I've thought about it. I know it's not realistic.
You could pass as a high schooler. 5 years ago, maybe you could have.
Long hair, maybe. Get rid of the beard.
Yeah.
Like shave
Shave
like clean
every day.
shave every day.
The beard looks quite high school.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Oh, you think it's funny, Joshy? Huh? He's on the ground. Are you laughing? Put your mic on if you're going to laugh.
That's funny.
That's pretty funny.
I don't know why. You used to laugh all the time with the mic on, and you leave the audience out of your little cackle.
Sometimes I just like to hide from the mic.
We got a nice window into Ben's psyche here. Speaking of windows.
Psyche is not getting a good rep today.
Let's talk about Gina Della from Pella Windows and Doors.
She's got a good one.
Wisconsin. Yeah, the best. Simply the best. Joshy was over this weekend. He got to see the beautiful Pella patio doors.
Sure did.
That open up my entire great room into the backyard. It's perfect. And those used to be windows. And they came and within one day knocked out the windows in February, mind you, replaced them with those beautiful patio doors and left my place cleaner than when they found it. Of course, those are Pella's Reserve Series patio door. Like a great utility player, they can be placed anywhere on the field, custom sizes and colors, and those doors look like they were placed with the original home because of the brilliant work by Pella's team. They also have innovative and award-winning easy slide horizontal windows where you get tons of natural light and unobstructed views. And of course, the premium roll screens. Like magic, the screen rolls out of sight when you close the window and boop, right there to help keep the bugs out when you open them. Get 0% financing for 48 months when you order by April 30th. So act now. Set your free consultation up. PellaWI.com/radio. That's PellaWI.com/radio. 0% financing for 4 years when you get that order in by the end of the month. So don't waste any time. Go to PellaWI.com/radio. Could not recommend them enough. They worked on my older home, replacing all the windows and doors, and of course on my new home with those beautiful patio doors. And there's more on the horizon. Check it out. PellaWI.com/radio. We'll come back. We'll revisit the 1-0 that I teased before, talking about Aaron Rodgers. Is he not as highly regarded as he once was? That's kind of what it seems like with DeAndre Hopkins' latest, I don't know if we can call them comments, facial expressions. We'll hit it next. Scalzo and Brust, presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo and Brust.
You don't get to the NFC Championship 2 years in a row by accident. And you know what happens when Jordan Love's the starting quarterback? That front office and Matt LaFleur, they're going to have a tight sphincter, and they're not going to look the same.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Some slowdowns now on westbound 94 from about 20th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. We've also got some delays along southbound 43 from about North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Doesn't really let up till you get past a pair of disabled vehicles just past Beecher, so watch out for that. Give yourself that extra time. And then another problem spot on westbound 94 west of Calhoun, disabled vehicle off on the right side. That's got things backed up all the way back past Moreland. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Flurry or sprinkle early, becoming partly cloudy and windy, a low of 32. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 53. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
I'm with the Associate Director of Hunger Task Force, Matt King. Matt, tell me about your organization's mission.
We operate a food bank that provides healthy food absolutely free of charge to people across Wisconsin.
And as your local office technology partner, James Imaging Systems is there to assist you and your organization.
Absolutely, it's really important to work with other local businesses that give back to the community.
I imagine operating a statewide food bank requires the help of a lot of special people.
We actually rely on the help of over 15,000 community volunteers every year.
That's a lot of good people doing a lot of good work.
People can get involved in whatever way feels most comfortable to them. They can give their time, they can give their funds, and they can give their voice.
And for those interested in helping, what's the first step?
People can go to our website at www.hungertaskforce.org.
James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Even when you think you know what's going on.
Is that like a button, like a preset that just happens when you hit a certain age and all of a sudden you start making unnecessary noises?
You can never be too sure.
Yeah, I make them all the time. Well, like my wife, I have big lungs.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Takes time to get them filled with air.
How do you know your wife has big lungs?
Take a look.
Morning 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank, and I've said it before. Life happens. For nearly 90 years, Great Midwest Bank has made the home loan process predictable through all those ups and downs. And today, GMB's simple and personalized approach to locally serviced, affordable home equity loans can turn your home's value into cash for whatever you want. Whatever your lending need, it's just a few clicks away. Apply online at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
The NBA playoffs are finally here.
Drives in on Giannis, puts the shot up, rejected by Giannis on the second jump.
And the quest for a championship starts on Bucks Talk with Justin Garcia.
He's been their best three-point shooter so far. He's just found his niche.
Every series right here. And it starts in round one when the Bucks try to take down the Miami Heat.
Punishing dunk from the Greek Freak. Take that.
You can listen live throughout the playoffs right here on 94.5 ESPN.
It's our lowest prices of the season at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Right now, shop unbeatable deals on the things you need for spring. Like $6 off 40-pound bags of Blaine's brand cat food. Sta-Bil gasoline stabilizer is only $11.49 a quart. And your choice of Fast Orange hand cleaner with pumice or Scrubs premium cleaning towels just $11.99. Rewards members save an extra buck. Don't miss our lowest prices of the season in-store or online at farmandfleet.com. And shop our new store in Grafton, located at 1771 Wisconsin Avenue.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
I know you're trying. I know you're trying. Waiting for your moment to fall on me. I saw you.
Kristen DeForest chimes in 800-990-ESPN, 800-990-3776. My 7 to 9-year-olds are sitting in the back of the van asking themselves, why is Ben so dumb?
No, they're not.
That's what Chris from DeForest said.
If you can get a recording of that and send it to Scalzo and Brust, we will play it on air.
We absolutely will play it on air. 800-990-3776, Twitter at Scalzo and Brust.
Why are you so quick to jump there, Josh?
It's color. I didn't color producing.
Can the Bucks win the series against the Heat without Giannis? If Giannis doesn't go the whole series, can they pull it out? I think they can. I don't think they'll have to. I don't think they want to, but I think they will.
Yes, they will 100% win if Giannis does not play a single game in this series. The Heat are no good. They're no good. I'm not going to say trash buckets.
You did.
Just go to 1 or 0.
0. That's the question you have to ask yourself. Are you a yes or a no?
There's no such thing as a gray area. Life is binary. It's just a 1 or a 0.
He is Ben Brust. I'm Greg Scalzo. We're your contestants for 1 or 0. Josh Dimaggio is your host. He asks us a question. We say 1 for yes, 0 for no. There is no gray area. Joshy, take it away.
In a video from All Things Covered on CBS Sports, DeAndre Hopkins used body language to tell people how he thought about possible trade destinations. Hopkins reacted positively to both the Bills and Chiefs and negatively to the Jets and Patriots. 1 or 0. Aaron Rodgers is not as highly regarded as he once was.
This is such a Josh DiMaggio phrase question.
I mean, the answer's 1. I'll say it. I'm his number 1 supporter. I'm okay saying it.
Okay, I'll say 1 too. But, like, if I had the option between the Bills and the Chiefs or the Jets and the Patriots, of course I would be more excited about the Bills and the Chiefs. The Chiefs just won the damn Super Bowl. What are we doing?
This was a bad idea for him to do, by the way. Like, you're DeAndre Hopkins. You don't have any leverage here. You're on a horrible team that's tanking in the Cardinals. Like, wouldn't you just want to go anywhere where you could revive your career? And he's acting like he's DeAndre Hopkins from 5 years ago, where it's like,
I mean, he's still getting paid a good amount where he probably feels like his value is what he's putting on the field.
But I'm saying, if you're the Patriots or the Jets and you were going to make a trade for him, right? And no matter what you say, like Mac Jones and Aaron Rodgers are better than what Arizona's going to put out at quarterback to start this season. Is that fair? We can all... Yeah. Kyler's still going to be hurt, right?
Okay, I was going to say Kyler
Is Colt McCoy still there?
I mean, Kyler's not expected back for week 1.
Gotcha.
And so now all of a sudden you're looking at it saying, like, all right, so now, like, you need another contract if you're DeAndre Hopkins. And you're acting like you get to choose where, like, you are not Aaron Rodgers, DeAndre Hopkins, but no, it's a 1 here. Like, Aaron's not as highly regarded as he once was, and it has more to do with his age and injuries last year than anything else. Like, if you knew you had 5 years of Aaron Rodgers in his prime, it's different than 1 year of 39-year-old Aaron Rodgers coming off of a debilitating thumb injury that would have ended most quarterbacks' careers.
Following both Giannis and Ja Morant suffering injuries that forced them to leave yesterday's playoff games, many people have started to float the idea of banning charging calls. Zach Harper says it's not really a basketball play and a bailout for the defense. 1 or 0. The NBA should ban the charge.
The answer here is 0. They shouldn't ban the charge. They should find a way to limit injuries for the most athletic and ever-evolving game of basketball. But if you're a primary defender guarding somebody and you beat them to the spot and take a charge in the chest, I am fine with that charge. the idea of sliding underneath some of the most athletic players in the world, I can make an argument that the restricted zone can be moved out. I can make that argument. But getting rid of something that's been a part of the game for so long, also, like, you got to take some accountability. If you're an offensive player that's going to the rim, you have to know when it's there and when it's not. And I understand sometimes you can be slid under late, but it's a part of basketball. I'm all about protecting stars, but we can't just change the entire game for everybody.
Yeah, I also think that there would be a lot of unintended consequences that you would have there if that were to be the case, right? I don't know exactly how it would play out. I think the potential is that all of a sudden the offense just goes whoop.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Like scoring,
how do you
because now people are just getting out of the way. And maybe that creates a more up and down. Either that, or are you going to create more free throws, which stops the game, makes it more boring, makes it longer, and now you have significantly more free throws because everything at the hoop is just an aggressive player running downhill and trying to get to the hole in order to get fouled.
Now, let's just say this real quick. Giannis and Ja Morant didn't get injured to a point in which hopefully they are not going to be out for the entire NBA playoffs. Now, I know there's a scenario in which they could have been in an ugly fall. But, we really haven't seen that end a career. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. So, if what Kevin Love did is a little bit off-brand, sure. But it's the playoffs, and guess who's probably going to think twice when he goes to the rim now? Giannis. So, kind of a smart play.
Bobby made sure to pound on Kevin a little bit later there.
Sure.
In the
as he should.
The third or fourth quarter, and he just knocked him down.
Sure.
And then K-Lo got a little bit of a back injury there.
Yeah, but you get my point.
Do you like that, Joshy?
K-Lo. People call him that.
You're so cool.
He's trash buckets.
Blue Jays pitcher Anthony Bass took to Twitter to complain about United Airlines forcing his pregnant wife to, quote, get on her hands and knees to pick up the popcorn mess created by their youngest daughter. When someone asked who should clean, he said, the cleaning crew. 1-0. You are responsible for cleaning up after your child in all public settings.
One quick clarifier here. Did he put this out himself?
He did, yes.
That's a bad move by him. No, the people on the plane, you shouldn't have to get down on your hands and knees and pick up every little last bit of kernel. There's a courtesy sweep that you do there. Now, I will also say if you're significantly pregnant, then that should also give you a little bit of benefit of the doubt. But by and large, let's take all the variables out. You are responsible for cleaning up after your child in all public settings. I'm a 1 there, yes. But you're not going to get out and be on your hands and knees with a wet napkin, picking up a spill. It's within reason, right? If I bring my kid somewhere and she's throwing French fries all over the place, I'm going to pick up the French fries. But if there's spill, it's going to be messier than having adults at the table. I'm going to pick up everything on a surface level, but it's still going to be messier. You make up for it with the tip. That's how you do it in a public setting. If you're on an airplane, yeah, you're going to have a little bit more stuff underneath the seats. A good airplane crew would just be like, oh, don't worry about it while you're there trying to pick up the large remnants there. But if you're talking about kernels and if it's a big piece of popcorn, pick it up. I'm not going down there with tweezers trying to get every last piece there. Kids are messier than adults. Live with it.
Yeah, I'm going to go 1 as well. I don't have a kid, so I can't speak to that, this whole interaction. So I don't want to sound dumb, but stop giving him popcorn. I don't know, give him a less messy snack.
Nah, I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm also fine with the pregnant wife, and I'm guessing that means he wasn't traveling with them.
It appears that they were traveling
if you're
alone.
significantly pregnant, and you're in a plane and you've got 2 kids and you don't pick up the popcorn, I give you the benefit of the doubt and say, you know what? You got enough going on. You've got enough to deal with. That's an okay pass.
Yeah, it just was the fact that he was the one who put this out that made it really
That's a bad
horrible.
move. You shouldn't put that out at all.
That's what I was going to ask as another one. 1-0 celebrities tweeting about companies who they believe treated them wrong is annoying.
I don't really care.
I just can't stand when people use their whatever level of influence to get things for free and get special treatment.
That's how the power stay powerful, Josh.
Has Ben done that before?
I don't think so. I've never seen it, at least.
Done what? Specifically?
Used your social media to try to get...
It's not my style.
feel like maybe free things, but you've never done it to lambast somebody else. Like you've never called somebody else out on it.
No, not even free things.
I feel like there's some examples in this show's history.
Find it.
You did ask Jim Nantz on the air for a tie.
Yeah, but that's different. No, that's a personal relationship. I'm on Team Ben on that one.
Finally.
Yeah.
You were on Team Ben earlier. It didn't feel like it.
I'm always on Team Ben. I live on Team Ben. I am Team Ben.
You have no choice to be Team Ben.
Jason Wilde joins us next on Scalzo and Brust. He's Team Ben, too. We're presented by Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
Do you not understand how milk works?
Boy.
What is the 2% versus 1% versus the skim?
If you had to guess, what would the difference be between whole milk, skim milk, 2%, 1%?
Whole milk, skim milk, 2%, 1%.
We just gave you the answer pretty much.
Whole milk is like, it's right from the cow.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Definite improvement now. Southbound 43 really looking pretty good all the way to the Marquette. That's where you'll start to see the slowdowns on 4394 from the Marquette all the way over the high-rise bridge, all the way down to Beecher where there's a broken down vehicle on the left shoulder. Westbound 94 going to be a bit slow from 25th Street through the stadium. Once you make it past Mitchell Boulevard, looks okay. No major problems all the way up to the zoo then. And then southbound 41 looking pretty good. Actually northbound as well. Not seeing any delays on that leg. Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, flurry or sprinkle early, then becoming partly cloudy and windy, a low of 32. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 53. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This Bucks team is something special. There's unbelievable, once-in-a-lifetime freakish talent like you've never seen before. The blocks, the dunks, the next-level energy, and a hungry core that's running the court, dropping shots, and posting stat after stat after stat. The playoffs presented by BMO are here. Fear the Deer. Keep up with all the postseason action at Bucks.com/playoffs. That's Bucks.com/playoffs.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
A wide array of opportunities abound at Waste Management.
Waste Management is always hiring, and let me share with you why. When Jerome goes from customer service to technical service, that position comes open. Jerome didn't leave the company. He just moved up. So now that gives somebody else an opportunity to come in the door. Most of the individuals that I worked with in customer service 18 years ago, is still here, but they're in a variety of other roles.
Join the Waste Management family. Just search online, Waste Management Careers.
Golf season is here, so make plans to play at Erin Hills. Erin Hills is the 9th-ranked public golf course in the nation. This beautiful course hosted the U.S. Open, U.S. Amateur, and in September, host of the USGA Mid-Amateur. Erin Hills is open all summer long. Book your reservations now for your golfing and lodging needs. If you want to plan ahead, Erin Hills is also accepting pre-booking for the 2024 golf season. You can search availability and begin your trip at erinhills.com. That's ERIN Hills.com.
We believe the best things take time. You have your obsessions. Ours is crafting the best slow-smoked barbecue in the state. Crafted only from humanely raised meats, dry rubbed, slowly smoked, and sauced by you. Add Smoke Shack to the top of your list the next time your hunger is trying to throw you off your game. Dine in, order takeout, or consider Smoke Shack to do the cooking for your next backyard barbecue celebration. Check us out in the historic 3rd Ward on Milwaukee Street or at smokeshack.com.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Missed any of the show? Find us on Wisconsin On Demand wherever you get your podcasts. It's free, it's everywhere, and it's for you.
Don't need drama, I just need one word to get to you. So tell me now, do you want it? 'Cause these dancing feet don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you. And every Saturday night that you ain't keep my tears blue.
Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. He's Ben Brust. I'm Greg Scalzo. Josh DiMaggio, our guy Alex Gravatt, our lone professional athlete here on the Scalzo and Brust family, running the show in Madison. And we're joined by our friend and teammate, our Packers guy, who you hear every day, 9 to noon, across these very stations on Wilde and Tausch. You read him, the Wisconsin State Journal and The Athletic. He is Jason Wilde. And Jason, the big news in Packers world today, of course, is the reporting from Jordan Love and Christian Watson in the beginning of offseason program here for the Packers up at Lambeau Field. Aaron Rodgers was due to make $50,000 had he shown up today. He has not. And it makes me think that this trade is still likely going to happen. And I expected him not to show up, but I use it as an indication that things are still on the path to him being traded, because I feel like the only way he would have showed up today was if he felt like things were falling apart and he really needed to shake things up. Am I off base on that?
No, not entirely. All right, here's the problem for you guys. Now that I listen on the drive to ballet, quick recap of what I've been thinking on the drive down. Huckleberry is a reference to Tombstone. I am 100% Team Ben. Debbie Lazaga does a great job letting me know what the traffic's going to be like. I agree with Ben on charge calls, but I am curious when charges became much easier to take, because I feel like, quote unquote, getting in position has become easier and beating guys to the spot. You're not as required to be as stationary as previously. Josh, he definitely needs to stop cutting his mic before he laughs, because I want to hear that cackle more frequently.
Wait, are you on Team Ben in the pickleball conversation?
No. I was going to skip that and just go now to your question.
All right, fair enough.
Because I want to stay on Team Ben in general. You said you are Team Ben, and I'm an honorary Team Ben. But no, I'm not the pickleball. So, first of all, he doesn't collect the $50,000 if he just shows up today. So, NFL workout bonuses are predicated, and it's generally on 80% attendance. So, the offseason program began today. Your attendance today would count to that 80% threshold of Phase 1, Phase 2, OTAs, and the minicamp. But he didn't have to show up today to collect that. You have to attend 80% of the offseason program, and then you pick up that check at the end of it. Secondly, that is total peanuts to him, but it's also peanuts compared to some of the other workout bonuses. David Bakhtiari's workout bonus, Kenny Clark's workout bonus, Aaron Jones's workout bonus, $700,000. So you can bet your bottom $700,000 that those guys will be making 80% of the offseason program. I did not expect him to come either. I did inquire to him to find out if he was, and he, of course, did not answer that question in our text exchange, so I assumed that meant he wasn't showing up, but wanted me to maybe, as Tausch likes to say, take the cheese and float the possibility that, hey, maybe he's coming. He didn't say he wasn't coming. But I was not surprised either. To me, if he's going to show up to make things awkward, the two moments that make the most sense are for the mandatory minicamp in June, because there was no media availability today. Like, he could have shown up and someone would have had to leak it, because the Packers certainly were not posting the video of him walking into 1265 Lombardi Avenue. So the mandatory minicamp, when we're all going to be there and the practices are open to the public, that would be show up pressure point number one. if the trade hasn't happened during the draft or right after the draft. The other pressure point is reporting to training camp, which Brett Favre did it a few days into training camp for family night. But if he really wants to make things awkward and try and make the Packers make a move, those would be much more realistic than showing up today, which I never expected him to.
Me neither. I want to follow up on the text exchange with Rodgers. I don't want to know what he says to you, but what kind of texter is he? Like, does he use emojis? Is he a haha or an LOL guy? Does he do like the like thing now that you could do, where you like have what do you call those reactions?
It is a reaction.
That works for me. We know what you mean. Yep.
Like, what kind of texter is he? Give me just color it in a little bit for us.
He does all those things. Again, this is not some sort of flex or a brag. I'm trying to give information here. There was a long period where we were not corresponding at all. I would say this: he exercises brevity more than I do. I tend to text in paragraphs. You guys have probably experienced that, all three of you, at different times. But there are times when there are things that he may be venting about or asking about where it's a more extended thing. But he's, I would just say this, because I do not want to sound like douchey or anything about this, and I certainly don't want to betray anything he said. I usually only share what I say in these conversations. But he has been more responsive in recent months than he had been for a very long time, and I'm not sure how to interpret that. I would be curious to know how many people in his sphere, and I am 1,000,000% not in his inner circle. I would never claim to be in his inner circle, but I would be curious to know how many people that are in his inner circle know all the characters involved in the current predicament, as well as maybe I do and some other people that are further out of the nucleus of his inner circle.
Talking with Jason Wilde here on Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer, Bud Light. Jason, I want to shift gears to a different quarterback. Jordan Love, obviously, reporting. Everyone's going to be talking about him now moving forward from the Packers QB perspective. I'm under the belief that everyone's going to be disappointed in the, no tight end in the first round. Like, put your GM hat on. What do you think the Packers do from a position standpoint the first two rounds?
Well, first of all, again, as you guys well know, I don't cheer for teams. I sometimes cheer for people, but what I really cheer for is stories. And so as of right now, if they don't make the trade with the Jets, they have 3 picks in the first 2 days. Day 1, 15th overall. Day 2, their second-round pick is 45. Their third-round pick is 78. I want them to go wide receiver, tight end, wide receiver.
I mean, for entertainment purposes, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, right? I mean, remember, between Aaron Rodgers and this moment, the only first-round pick that the Packers have exercised on an offensive skill position player is Jordan Love. That's it. They haven't drafted a wide receiver since 2002 in Javon Walker. To understand that in perspective, 2002 was Mark Tauscher's 3rd NFL season. He played 11 years. He has now been retired for 12 years or 13 years. So that puts into perspective, regardless of how many great second-round wide receivers they've had, that tells you how long it's been since they drafted a wide receiver. So, look, those are positions of need. This is a team and this is a GM, much like Ted Thompson before him, who has exercised a lot of picks in the first round on defense, including last year and the last several years, when everybody and their brother was talking about how deep the wide receiver classes were in each of those drafts. Last year he went inside linebacker and defensive tackle. So, and I'm not criticizing those picks. They're just not the kind of thing that people get excited about. So, my GM hat is, we need a tight end. If I'm Ryan Gutekunst, I'm saying we need a tight end. I'm not bringing back Methuselah Lewis. Let him go to the Jets and play with Aaron. I already let Bobby Tunyon walk for peanuts from the Bears. I basically have Josiah DeGuara, who is at this point my best third-round pick, which is really saying how bad I've been
The Messiah.
in the third round. And Tyler Davis, who Tausch loves, even though Tausch, when he first referred to him, thought his last name was Smith, and we call him Smitty. So they're derelict in their duty of stocking the tight end position. The wide receiver position's not much better. So those are the positions of glaring need. I also say safety is a need. I also say offensive line is a need. I also say defensive line is a need. And, oh, by the way, there are two running backs. A.J. Dillon is in the last year of his rookie deal. Aaron Jones is not coming back on next year's current contract situation. So even running back is kind of a sneaky need. So, for folks that are hoping that this team can sneak into the playoffs and be pretty good with a first-year starter, I would argue that they have not done a great job of putting Jordan Love in the best position to have a good team around him that he can succeed as a first-year starter.
On draft night, Jason, and I'm not asking specifically about you, but on draft night, does Aaron Rodgers have more texting conversations about the Packers draft picks or the Jets draft picks?
Well, I sent a message to the league office Friday, and I need to follow up on it because I also you asked whether he's texting about one or the other. I mean, I'm sure he's texting about both. First of all, to like people in his circle. Like I'm sure on Friday night, whoever they pick in the third round, Rodgers is going to text somebody and say, "Well, that guy's obviously not going to be very good because Goody's third round picks are terrible." But I did send a message to the league office, and I'm waiting to hear back because I'm really intrigued by what exactly are the rules of being given permission to talk to a team that you're not employed by. Like, I'm working on my State Journal draft series, and in the quarterback section, I have the depth chart, and Aaron Rodgers is still on their roster. He is still under contract to the Green Bay Packers. And so we know they were given permission to talk to the Jets and vice versa, but is that into perpetuity? Like, can he call Nathaniel Hackett whenever he wants now? Or was there a finite endpoint to his allowed communication with them? I haven't got an answer yet from my guy at the league office, so I'm hoping I get that soon. But, like, if I'm Aaron Rodgers and I can talk to them whenever I want and they haven't been able to reach an agreement with Goody on a trade or Mark Murphy on a trade or the Packers on a trade, I'm probably texting my guys in the building, sharing my thoughts and asking questions. So I would say this. I don't think Aaron Rodgers will be communicating with the Packers via text message during the draft, but I think there's a chance if it's allowed, or maybe even if it's not, he'll be corresponding with people from the Jets.
Jason, great stuff as always. We appreciate the time. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde, weekdays 9 to noon across these very stations on Wilde and Tausch, of course, The Athletic, as well as the Wisconsin State Journal. You can read him there and follow him on Twitter at Jason J. Wilde.
Great weekend with my boys from Wisconsin Badger basketball, which means I needed to recover a little bit this weekend, which Sunday was Water Joe. Guess what today was? Water Joe. Simply water with caffeine. That's why I love it, because it's healthy, clean energy that I'm trying to fuel my body with. When people say, what does it taste like? It tastes like water. Just with 85 milligrams of caffeine, similar to a 20-ounce soda, without all the bad stuff that comes with that. So think about it, folks. When you're having a Water Joe, you're going to be having clean, healthy energy. So pick it up at your favorite retailers. You're going to love it. You're going to feel energized. You're going to feel clean. You're going to feel great. Water Joe.
We will be joined by Gabe Neitzel, Stephen Watts, and the On the Tee Boys as we do a little crosstalk next. It's Scalzo and Brust, presented by the world's greatest beer. Blocked you. Bud Light.
You're listening to Bud Light, Scalzo, and Brust.
So sometimes it's a doozy to figure out what time it is because I'm looking down. Plus, when the long hand and the short hand cross, like it can get, it's a little confusing.
Was this just you a long way of you trying to tell us you don't use your watch because you have a hard time reading it?
That's not that I have a hard time. It's harder.
Subscribe to the Scalzo and Brust podcast free on the Wisconsin On Demand app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hunger Task Force has had copier printers from James Imaging Systems in multiple Wisconsin locations for over 10 years. Associate Director Matt King, why James Imaging Systems?
We trust James Imaging because they're a local business that understands the local community and the needs that we have here.
Has that had a positive impact?
Absolutely. James Imaging staff have made the copying and document imaging within the office really easy and efficient so that we can focus on our mission.
Matt, any advice to other local businesses that would like to make their document imaging processes faster, easier, and more efficient?
Yeah, I would tell them to call James Imaging because they provide great service and they provide customer-oriented solutions.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned company with a 100% commitment to the success of your business. Call 262-781-7700. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Greg Scalzo for Smart Spaces. How can Smart Spaces transform your business?
The technology frustrations we hear about, hands down, ease of use. We take that complexity out of it and keep it down to the bare minimum of what they need and what they use. Our goal is to lend a level of simplicity that any knowledge level can walk into that room and at a glance know exactly how to turn that room on and utilize all of its features.
Let Smart Spaces transform your business today. Visit smartspaceswi.com.
Over the past year, we've been hard at work improving our sales processes, expanding and remodeling our facilities, investing in new technology, and continuing our commitment to serve our customers, employees, and community. That's why at Boucher, when our customers leave the dealership, we hope we've made a customer for life. Whether you're in need of a new vehicle, are stopping in for routine maintenance, or are in need of collision work, we will be here to help. With 20 locations throughout southeastern Wisconsin and 30 brands, we've got thousands of new and used vehicles for you to choose from. Our dedicated employees have been named a 2022 top workplace for the past 11 years, and we always have been and will continue to be family-owned and operated. Proud to be your Wisconsin family dealership group since 1977. Visit us today at boucher.com.
Ben Brust here for my favorite racetrack in North America, and that is Road America. Race fans, it's time to make your summer plans for fast family fun at Elkhart Lakes Road America. Experience 9 major races from vintage weekends to high-thrill NASCAR racing at the best NASCAR track in America. Bring the entire family for more affordable fun with on-site camping, free parking, and most of all, free admission for kids 16 and younger. See the full race schedule at roadamerica.com. Road America, America's national park of speed. Cedar Ridge Distillery continues to make a home right here in Wisconsin. The original 86 bourbon is the best-selling bourbon in Iowa for 3 straight years, and you have the opportunity to get that here in Wisconsin. Also, the quintessential, the best American single malt, voted by John Barleycorn Awards, and Cedar Ridge manages every step of the production from grain to glass. Make sure you pick up the Scalzo and Brust private barrel of bourbon and rye whiskeys, available at Discount Liquor at 51st in Oklahoma or Barstow in Maine in downtown Waukesha.
This Bucks team is something special. There's unbelievable once-in-a-lifetime freakish talent like you've never seen before. The blocks, the dunks, the next-level energy, and a hungry core that's running the court, dropping shots, and posting stat after stat after stat. All this action will have you on your feet cheering Fear the Deer. The playoffs presented by BMO are here. Get your single-game tickets now at bucks.com/playoffs.
You're listening to Scalzo and Brust on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Bud Light and streaming live on Wisconsin On Demand.
The only reason we listen to Ben and Brust is because Ben is so dumb. That's one of the reasons why we like to watch it. Benny's dumb!
How do we feel about that one, Benny?
It's on brand. Glad to be inspiring the youth every day across.
You missed it. You were talking to
The only reason we listen to Ben and Brust is because Ben is so dumb. That's one of the reasons why we like to watch it. Benny's dumb.
Wow. A double dumb.
You're dumb, according to
Grayson and Henry.
He nailed it, Grayson and Henry.
Grayson and Henry,
Our
avid
official-
members of the Scalzo and Brust
Official
family.
and official young bullies of the Scalzo and Brust family.
Yeah, it's perfect that you would be bullied by those two in general. Let me ask you two competitors a question. We're joined by the On the Tee gentlemen here, Gabe Neitzel, Stephen Watson. I'll start with you, Gabe. There's a pickleball tournament being created, a pickleball league here at the office.
Yep.
And Ben Brust is the number 2 ranked player in the league, is demanding to play with the number 1 ranked player in the league, even though it's going to throw off all the competitive balance. Doesn't that shock you as somebody you'd look at and say, hey, this is someone that I just think would care about winning themselves and not ultimately having to tie themselves to the better player?
No, Ben's a weenie, and, he wants to stack the odds in his favor. That makes sense. It's completely and 100% on brand.
He's a weenie?
Stephen Watson, would
Yeah.
you do that, or would you want to win on your own volition for once?
No, you got to win on your own. Who made these rankings?
I don't
the
know.
pickleball commissioner, the league commissioner?
I don't know. I'm willing to launch an investigation on this. I think I just really want to play with Vetrano from Wisconsin Morning News on 620 WTMJ because we've never lost together. We've had a ton of fun playing on the weekends, and I like playing with him. It wasn't like I'm trying to stack the deck thing.
It very much was. You already admitted that it was a very
Yeah.
trying to stack the deck thing, and yet you're...
Does that make me a weenie?
Yeah.
Weenie was an interesting word there.
Yeah, no, you're a weenie.
Can you define a weenie?
Well, this
What?
is...
He's looking at him, like right there.
On
Just
stream,
take
Wisconsin
him-
on the map. I'm talking. The camera's probably on me.
This is also somebody who didn't lose a single game, not like just a match, but a single game because he attached himself to the best player in the last pickleball league with the company. And he also has bragged about winning all these rec intramural basketball leagues where he's dropping 40-point triple-doubles and winning MVPs left.
Is that what it's come to, Ben?
I guess if this is how it's going to be framed by Greg Scalzo in an unfair way.
How is that unfair?
The Holy Cross Men's League in Kaukauna has been going on for 54 freaking years, and it's really, really good.
The intramural UW league's been going on for 70 years.
Last year I got wiped clean. Wiped clean. This year, big deal.
This is what
Think
it's come
about
to.
the location in which you just mentioned.
Life,
Kaukauna,
life comes at you fast, Benny.
home of the Galloping Ghosts.
It's not about the Galloping Ghosts.
And Ben's like, this place in the central Wisconsin, it's the greatest thing ever. It's so competitive.
In
You
terms,
played in a Final Four.
yeah, but I'm not any good. I'm not that good anymore. Like I'm just not. Life changes. You have to come up with new goals, and this was a goal. I sucked last year. We lost in the first round. We won it this year. It was great. It was a good accomplishment for me.
Cool.
I'm not a I can't dunk anymore. I'm losing athleticism, so I'm finding.
He's the best player in the league.
Yeah,
Everybody
that's probably
said
not even.
he
But
was the
that's
best
not.
player in the league.
Holy Cross was different. I probably wasn't even the best player.
You were.
It wasn't
Who won the MVP?
me. But
Either of you gentlemen worried about the Bucks?
No,
No.
not even a
Shouldn't
little
be.
bit.
What's coming up on the Tee here on 94.5 ESPN?
Well, I know somebody you guys like talking about is Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about Russell Wilson.
Wow.
Because he did something really dumb on a golf cart over the weekend. We're going to talk about embarrassing golf stories.
Tease here, Steven.
Do you have a good one?
I've got some good Brust ones.
Yeah, you probably have some, and I drove into a bunker once.
I still haven't played golf with you,
like
Benny.
over a hill.
You and Russell Wilson.
Ah, crap.
All
That's
right.
great company, right?
Golf this summer. The four of
Oh,
us.
can't wait.
Sorry, Joshy.
Yeah, that sucks.
You're our caddy.
Can me and Steven team up and
Yeah.
beat the crap out of you guys with no strokes?
No. I'm a 22 handicap.
It doesn't matter. I mean, Benny wants to pair up with the best player. At,
Just because I stack the deck doesn't mean Greg's going to accept it.
I'll be on one of your teams. Coming up next in Madison, it's The Huddle with Alex Strofe and Brad Nortman. In Beaver Dam, it's Joe and Amber. And it's these two with On the Tee on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
We are seeing a pretty good ride now, 41 and 43, both looking fine in either direction.